Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before I start, please like, subscribe, and comment so that I can continue to persist. So, I'll do chapter 13, 14, and 15. Whatever is unclear, please let me know in the comment section so that I can address that independently. Okay, so chapter 13 first. If you fall into a lion's pit, why do you think the lion will devour you? That's my question. Do you think the lion will attack because he or she is hungry, or because you have invaded his or her territory? Absolutely, it's the second one. A lion will not attack because he or she is hungry. It will attack because you have invaded its space. Okay? That is why it is important at those circus events. You will notice that the circus trainer will enter the ring first, and then they will release the lion or the bull. Why do you think this is important? Why is being first important? It is absolutely important because if you enter first, right, and the lion second, psychologically, the lion is of the opinion that this is not my space. And therefore, the lion is psychologically uncomfortable. The lion is now invading. And because the lion is invading a occupied space, he or she will be uncomfortable and unsettled. Okay? So that is why it's important at those circus events, they will allow the circus trainer to enter the dome first, and then they will release the lion. The lion will enter with its tail between its legs and trying to find comfort in a corner. But remember, it is a dome, so it's pointless. There's no corners, right? But you can see that the lion is uncomfortable. So it's very important to be first. When you're first within a space, you become what we call the super alpha. You are the alpha, the most dominant. And when you are second, it's either you become the omega or the beta. The beta. Okay? So in this context, right, even though the lion is, known to be the alpha male, when he enters the ring, after the circus trainer, he does not occupy the status of the alpha male. Okay? Why is this important? Because who was first on the lifeboat between Richard Parker and Pi? That's imperative. Pi or Parker. Okay? Think about that question. Pi goes on to say that it is imperative, that animals understand their hierarchy and their rank. An animal wants to know its place in society. In other words, if I am the lowest rank, I want to know. If I am the alpha male, I want to know. They do not want to be uncertain about their rank. This is problematic and can be very dangerous as well. Okay? And more importantly, how do you establish or how do you tame an animal? So if the question is account for the art of taming an animal, or how did Pi tame Parker, you need to go back to this chapter here, chapter 13. Okay? So how do we tame? Pi is very smart. He explains that when a circus trainer enters, he is jumping and stomping and shouting and using a whip and a whistle. Brr, 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 brr. Jumping, shouting, stomping. He's doing all of these things. What he's doing is, he is trying to instill fear into the tiger or into the animal, whatever it is. He is trying to instill fear, and at the same time, he is trying to assert authority within himself. And this is what we call psychological taming. Taming an animal psychologically, blowing the whistle, shouting, rocking of the boat, jumping. What you're doing is you're trying to instill fear into the animal. In chapter 14, he goes on to account for the omega animal. The omega animal is the animal with the lowest rank. However, this animal has more to gain from the alpha male. So if you think of a cat, in terms of the cat family, the tiger is the alpha. The cat will be the omega. The cat has more to gain because it will make effort to get to know its owner. So most often the omega is unable to defend and fend for itself, and therefore subsequently, they have more to gain from the alpha male. Okay, so they make the most effort to get to know their owners, and this is important. So the idea here is, how do you become the alpha male, and how do you establish the omega? Okay, very important. Then chapter 15, the author is narrating. It is in italics, and whenever you see that the author is narrating, what is he saying? So Jan Martel, with a fictional author, he is in Canada, and he is observing Pi's household, and he's looking around. He's being observant, and he is mesmerized. He is amazed. Why? Because of the different religious symbolism. So, for example, to name a few, he says Pi's house is a temple. There are different religious symbolism. You have the Bible, you have a cross, you have a picture of the Virgin Mary. There's a picture of Shiva and Ganesha and Lakshmi and all these Hindu gods. There's a picture of the Kaaba, which is symbolic of Islam. There's a picture of Lakshmi. There's a cross. It is symbolic. But my question to you is, why are there more than one religious symbolism here? And obviously, because Pi is practicing 3 religions at the same time, because he is a believer in one God. And this is absolutely important. A believer in one God through different religions. Okay, so chapter 15 is absolutely amazing because there are different religious symbolisms everywhere, and it is reminding Pi of the beauty of religion. Okay, chapter 15, there we go. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Cheers.